Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to be solving a function problem. It's going to be 5 different parts. I'm going to identify any critical points, relative max, relative min, um, any intervals, points of inflection. I'll identify whether the function's concave or convex, and then I'll sketch the graph. The problem is f of x equals x cubed minus 75x minus 1. Okay. Um, the first thing you're going to do is you have your function f of x equals x to the third minus 75 x minus 1, and you will find f prime. The derivative is 3x squared minus 75. And since I know that I'm going to be finding intervals, points of inflection, I'm going to go ahead and find f double prime. F double prime equals 6x. And you're just going to find the derivative of the original function, and then the second derivative is the derivative of 3x squared minus 75 is 6x. Okay, so I'm going to find relative max and relative min. Or actually, I'm going to find critical points. And so to find the critical point, you have to set f prime equal to 0, 75 equals 0, and then you can expand this out to 3 times x squared minus 25 equals 0, and then you can factor this out to 3x minus 5x plus 5 equals 0. And so now I know that my possible critical points are -5 or 5, but you have to run a second derivative test to see whether the critical values are positive or whether they're the relative minimum or relative maximum. So you will put both of them into testing f prime, which this is f prime, or double prime, f double prime at -5 equals -5 times, well, it would be 6 times, it'll be 6 times -5, which will give you -30, and then you'll test f double prime at 5 equals 6 times 5 equals +30. And then you know if a critical value is, if the sign is negative at testing at one of the critical values, then this will be your relative max. And if one of the critical values at double prime is positive, then this will give you your relative minimum. And to, okay. So now to find the coordinates for your relative maximum and minimum, you're going to take this 5 and this -5, and you're going to set it, you're going to test that with your original function. So if we test -5, you'll have f of -5 equals -5 cubed minus 75 times -5 minus 1. And that is going to give you, figured it out earlier, it is 249. So that's going to tell you that the coordinates for the relative max is -5 and 249. And you'll do the same thing with the positive value. And if you put in the original function, you're going to get 5 cubed minus 75 times 5 minus 1. And that's going to give you a negative 251, which, since you're testing it at 5, this critical value is going to be 5, negative 251. Okay, pause it.